Hello, so this is a very off the cuff video to talk about gambling and addiction to gambling. I am an ex-gambler myself, big addict for well over a decade, and I don't think it will ever leave me. My personality is addictive, so if you're subjected to addictive behaviors, then whether it's food, cigarette, alcohol, gambling, TikTok. And I was just sat down a minute ago and I was just thinking about earlier in my life and how gambling came into my life and how it has consumed a vast portion of my life. Weirdly, I wouldn't change it because I think a lot about growing up is the gratitude that you are alive and everything you've been through and you're still here. And there are quantum physics theories in chaos theory, butterfly effect, that states you wouldn't be exactly who you are now if everything you've been through isn't everything you've been through. And that also teaches on the spiritual teachings of stuff and growth and gratitude. So anyway, let's not get sidetracked with that. Gambling. So sorry, my phone keeps slipping. I said this was a really off the cuff video. I don't really make many videos anymore, so if I'm thinking about it, get my phone out, maybe film, and my phone is sliding all over the show. Sorry. I'm not a professional YouTuber. So, if you're a gambling addict, if you gamble, you don't want to admit you're an addict. That takes a long time. That takes a long time. But it's also understanding what is addiction. Why is it when you wake up first thing in the morning that one of the first things that you think of is betting, or what am I going to do today? I have no money. So what is it that drives you to take money that you have earned in a world where it's getting ever increasing to earn it? Less wages, more people, less jobs. But you still work, you put your effort in, you get up in the morning, you go and make money for someone else in your job, whether it's stacking shelves in a shop, whether it's being a farmer, whatever it is you do, you make money for people above you. And then you take that money and go, I'm going to risk losing this in the hope of winning more. Now, to a lot of people, that's ludicrous, that's nonsense. And as an addict, you probably would have heard, well, why don't you just stop? That's selfish. And in your head, you think those things. It is fucking stupid. But when we look at how the gambling industry is built, the shops in the high street and the websites that you gamble on, the apps on your phone, wouldn't exist unless there was a company behind it that had a lot of money. Shops don't get built in the high street out of nothing. So they're built with money from a company that's ultimately set up to take money from you. That's the way it's designed. That's their business model. And we can prove this in games in casinos where you have a roulette table, for example, and you have red and black, and you think 50-50 chance. You've got to think as well that there's millions, if not billions, of spins, and it's all based on probability algorithms of which they've got the maths for. It's mathematic. It's mathematic. And now they have electronic machines, they can tweak the mathematics so that while someone might win, ultimately everyone will lose. Because how's the company going to make profit if that doesn't happen? That would be a stupid way to run a business that runs itself into the ground, and it wouldn't be what it is today, and places like Las Vegas wouldn't be as big as they are with millions, if not billions of pounds pumped into them if it's not taking money out of your pocket. So that's the logical side of things. You will always lose in the long run. in the long run. So that's where addiction, if you're just £5 every couple of months, or as a boxing match on, it makes it a little bit more fun for you, yeah, that's part of the experience. But addiction's a different level. But also the gambling companies are built on trying to get you to do that first bet. Oh, I don't bet. Oh, that's stupid. I've worked for my money. And I get that concept. So that's why they go, you can have a free bet. Or the Grand National, I start putting posters of it. It's all over the TV. And bet £5, win 1,000. It's all in the little small print. That's not what's happening, but it doesn't matter. They play on what you perceive from their adverts. And this touches more on why adverts are the way they are, and why the spinning lights and the colours of the gaming machines the way they are, because they interact with certain parts of your brain. And that's how a gambling industry is built, around maths and how your brain works. And unfortunately, most people don't even know that. So you're sat in front of a machine, and the lights and the colours and the sounds, your brain is being lit up in different ways that give you things like dopamine, feel-good factor. That's why you feel good when you win. It's also why you feel shit when you lose. Plays with your emotions. You can sit there all day and lose £50 and you'll walk away, even though you're £50 out of pocket, you'll feel good. Why? Because the colours, because the symbols on the machines, it's all to do with the receptors in your brain, dopamine and these types of things, reward centres, the actual neurological pathways that our brain fires neurons to create reality. It's on a deeper level, and they know it on a deeper level. That's why the games are that way. That's why they make the noises they do. Look at Las Vegas. It's like one big party. But it's a one big party funded by you, and they just cream off the top with millions, if not trillions of pounds. Dollars. So yes, if you can see it as well, I'll go to Las Vegas or whatever, it's enjoyable, I'm happy to spend £1,000 and that's cool. If you gave me £1,000, I'd probably go to Las Vegas as well. Like, fine, cool. You get to 90 years old and you're like, kind of wish I went to Las Vegas. But when it becomes a must in your life, like you wake up in the morning and gambling's on your brain, and believe me, I talk from experience. Now you've got to think to yourself, what's happening there where that's the first thought in my head? Like, think of it on where your brain is made up. I don't know, I'm not a neuroscientist, but you can understand you have different parts, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, different pineal gland and amygdala and other parts of right hemisphere. I don't know. But it's the concept of that's how your brain is all wired, and different parts fire to different things. So when you wake up in the morning, why is a neuron shooting across your brain going gambling? And whatever you think about that then comes into life. Oh shit, I got no money, what am I going to do today? Or more than likely, where's my phone, where can I put the next bet on? That was my life for a decade, and I never understood it. I never understood addiction as addiction. I lied, I stole, I was likely violent to feed that, because your brain's trying to light up different parts in your brain, probably dopamine receptors. And in today's world where you're enticed in with little money and then they hook you in with, that's why they say to you, spend £5, could win 50. And your brain goes, ooh, that's good odds, or that's good, or why not? It's only a £5. But you not think the company knows how your brain's going to react to it, and you don't? They know why they say the things they do, why they make the colours they do, the sounds they do, how it's all set up the way it is, and they also know you're completely oblivious to it because you're addicted, and addiction hits different parts of your brain. But gambling addiction is seen as very different to alcohol and cigarettes because that's physical. You can see this. And a lot of addiction is completely overlooked. In fact, addiction is pushed in society. They want you addicted to alcohol. They look at the way they sell it. It's poison, but they want you addicted to it for obvious. Smoking, they want you addicted to it. It's poison. Caffeine, Costa and Starbucks wouldn't exist if we weren't highly addicted to caffeine. Now, caffeine can be good and bad. It's not like alcohol and cigarettes. But then That's just completely overlooked. So addiction spreads further than that, and it spreads into gambling, but it all centers in parts of the brain that light up when they wake up or they go to sleep. Understanding the biochemistry of your body. So I never even thought, and like I couldn't think like I think now. How I can explain it now, I couldn't because I was in the addiction. And while it's still in my brain, or the ability to be addicted is in there, I can see my ability to be addicted. So I start looking at things differently, logically. Sometimes it might be logical to go, actually, yeah, that's a good bet. But not waking up and your heart's pounding. I need to see the ding ding ding, because that's lighting up different parts in your brain, if that's roulette or slots, or that's why they have these machines. Think about it. Think you're an alien looking down on a betting shop, and you've got no concept of a betting shop. An alien's looking down on it. He's going, okay, what? So we have some machines in here. What do? They light up, okay, and they show images and sounds, okay, and people will throw money away so they can't eat, so they can see the lights and the sounds. Aliens like, what? But that is what is happening. Yes, to you it's I could win some money, but it's not, because the business is built on how your brain works, like an alien looking down on it. We know how the brain works enough that we can use money to build a business, knowing that people will feed money into these machines to light up parts of their brain through the sound, through the noise of the machines. That's what they are, they're just machines. Your mistake is translating that to, I can have more money in my life. Because whilst you might do 1 week, you know you won't do the next week, and you know as an addict you are down. You know. The company knows. The company wouldn't exist. So what's happening here? It's your brain addicted to the sights and the sounds of the machines. That's that simple. You're also, when you have sports betting, you are addicted to the highs and lows of it. If you want your team to win and they go 1-0 down, you know what you feel. When your team goes 1-0 up, you know what you feel. You are addicted to the emotion of it. But because you can't predict sports, and because the odds are against you, the odds are built mathematically. So if someone places a first bet, each side of the bet, so if there's two outcomes, you'd think 50-50. But it can't be 50-50 or the company wouldn't make the money. So it's 49-49. So as one team piles on the money, like people are going into the bookies, people placing online and placing money at that odds, whether 2 to 5 if you think fractional, or 1.4 if you're decimal. That's 1.4. This one's probably going to be what, 2.75, isn't it? 1.44, 2.75. This is how much I know the odds and how they reflect. But if you pile on 1.44 and the odds go down to 1.4, 1.36, these odds are going to go up to 3, because when all the money is placed for that one match, thousands and thousands and thousands of bets, no matter what, the odds are always going to be balanced so that the company makes money. That it might come out of your bank account, it might not come out of your bank account, but the way the company is built, it will come out of your collective bank account. Otherwise the companies couldn't exist. There's like real football matches going on, real rugby matches going on, snooker, darts, whatever you want, horse racing, greyhounds, this is all going on. And there are companies that are now saying to you, come on, which one do you think is going to win? I don't care, mate. No, I'm not interested in football. Yeah, but if you guess, and there's a pretty good chance you could get it right, then you give us a £5, we'll give you 100 quid. Really? Yeah. Oh no, there's a small print and this and that, and you've got to turn it over this many times. So you've got to keep betting, and then you can release that out of, and then you keep betting. Oh, and guess what? Now you're in and addicted. You've now won 100 quid, and now they'll ploughed it back in You had £5, but you got your £100. You now ploughed it back in. In your brain, £100 down. I got to get that back. Off you go again. Also, you chase the highs and the lows, the emotions and the physical body output and what you receive from different neurons, different chemicals, the way your body is set up biologically, chemically, to give you the highs and the lows that you feel. You ride the highs, you don't really like the lows. But any addict is never going to be in profit because the company couldn't exist without it. Now, you might be one of these professional gamblers that is up, but someone else will be down. The whole model has to be built like that. Also, a lot of professional gamblers are built on selling their knowledge to other people. So they pull in £50 a month from 1,000 people. They're pulling in 50,000. They post on a thingy. Overall, yeah, they're probably up, but they're making 50 grand from the other people. So you got the bookies, and then you got the tipsters, and then you got the bottom of the pile that feeds all that above it. So you can be in the pyramid, but most people are at the bottom. And then when you start losing money, you're like, you need to win that back. Or when you win money, I like that feeling. No matter what, you're going back. And in an ever increasingly addictive human behavior that's increasing into society, people are popping pills left, right and centre, alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, phones, TikTok. The brain, the human body, is built up to be addicted to things for a majority of people. Otherwise, alcohol wouldn't be in. Alcohol's poison, yeah. We've been taught you can live your life by it and you can change how you think and feel in your head, but you're going to pay the price for it. But don't worry, we'll give you the answer. Pop some pills that you're now addicted to, and don't worry, we'll help you out there with burying you in the grounds and charging people for that, and then we'll take your house off you and charge you for that. But the whole system's built like that. That's the way it's built, and the smart move is to understand that's how it's built. It doesn't mean you don't have that addiction, doesn't mean you don't have those thoughts, but it means surrounding yourself with people that understand that, being honest with yourself. Me personally, I remember the first bet I ever put on. I'd actually just joined the Royal Marines. I was a gambling addict all through the Marines. I think a lot of people knew it, but I didn't know where it came from. I left college, joined the Marines, and the lads one day were like, right, we're going downtown. You know what I mean? You're 19 years old, you're going downtown with the lads because you're all 19-year-old Marines. And I was like, go to the bookies. And I was like, what? Well, no. I genuinely was like, just put a £5 on. The lads were ticking the sheets, and I was like, oh, I could win millions. And they're making these massive long, I could win millions of pounds. And I was like, I remember 19 years old, I was like, I don't really want to lose a £5. But everyone else is doing it. And no one physically went, you got to do it. But I was like, oh, all right, join in with the lads, watch the football, put a £5 on, and yeah, could win hundreds of quid. I'm not going, I could be addicted, I don't know. I'm just putting a £5 on and going, okay, cool. Naturally, that £5 lost because it was like £5 and I could win £7 million. That lost, obviously. And now my brain's going, I've lost £5. So next, it's not nothing more in my head than that. Just get on with being a Marine. And next weekend down the town with the lads. And okay, well, I put £5 on last week. I put £10 on this week because I need to kind of win back what I lost last week. Next week, 20 quid. Next week, 40 quid. Now, some people don't do that. I appreciate. It's just, it's fun for some people. But the addicts, you know that's how it came about. So then I haven't got a lot of money. Or rather, I've lost a lot of money. And it's in my brain like, I've just thrown that money away for... That really irritated me. I don't know, stubbornness, stupidness, maybe the flashing lights and just going down the town with the lads. And what was I supposed to do? They're all there with their I'm not blaming any of these people whatsoever. This is just my experience of, like, you're 19 years old, going down town with the lads, they're putting bets on. Yeah, you could go, I'm not doing it. Cool. But I did. Like, no one forced me. I just went, all right, cool. Whether it's just want to join in or, all right, let's see what this excitement's about. Like, cool. And it was fun watching the football matches. Like, yeah. Just one more to go. Come on, like, that's why bingo exists. Someone's just started going 75. And everyone's just addicted to, so close. It's an addictive, that's the way it works. So, yeah, from there, I always just go headfirst into everything I do anyway. So I went headfirst into being addicted to gambling. So that took over very, very quickly from there. Don't earn a lot of money as a Marine, but it very quickly left my pocket. So, you won some, you lose some, but overall, you've lost money. Like I said, the gambling industry wouldn't exist if overall, from the collective, they don't take money from you for just going, here's some sports, and you basically you're not betting against the bookie. That's the thing. Where's this money come from? That's the thing. There's a sports match going on which you can't influence. Although there are obviously, especially Italian, you can influence like at the top levels, but you as an addict can't influence. You're just watching a match, setting off dopamine receptors in your head, or playing on the slots again, dopamine receptors in the head. And it's just part of life. Cool, normality, addiction. You're having a drink as well, having a smoke as well. But that's just normal life, or certainly was for me. It's only when I kind of thought, what the fuck, like, what doesn't make any sense? Because as a collective, the hundreds, thousands, millions of gambling addicts are paying a company to keep taking your money just to give you dopamine. Because there's no logical sense to it. Obviously, there are people that have seen this system and now they've become good at it. Cool. But once you become really good at it, any bookie will go, you're affecting our business, and they'll start limiting your bets. They're a business. They don't want you money, winning money off you. They go, they pretend they do. They put the adverts out there going, you can win millions, all the rest of it, get you hooked. But there's the regulatory bodies are so corrupt behind it because they're creaming off the top as well, all the way to the top of the chain. Keeps you in an addictive state. And that's just the truth of it. But when you think you're the one, there's a match going on, the slot machines, it's built into the maths of the machine. It wins. Simple. And as an addict overall, you lose. Simple. Obviously. So what are you doing? You're chasing the addiction of the lights and the sounds. But you have to come to terms with that. And then think, okay, well, how do I deal with that addiction? It's not an addiction of gambling. It is, but that's how it plays out. But it's also looking at addiction as a whole. What else you're addicted to? Smoking, drinking, all part of the same thing, which are all doing highly destructive things to yourself. These industries wouldn't exist. Like you are. There's millions of you, say, in England on a Saturday, going into a building and giving them money for the outcome of a match you have no control over. But yeah, it's cool and it is more enjoyable. But it's enjoyable because you have money on it. So you've got to think, why am I happier? Why do I enjoy this more? Because I've got money on it. And then when you lose, the feeling there as well. So what you're doing as a collective is you're all going to these buildings and now online and depositing your money for the outcome of a match or series of matches. Well, you know what I'm talking about. And if, depending on whether you're right or wrong, you will get a portion of that money from all the buildings that have had their money dropped in back. But at the end of that event, the bookies go, thanks very much. They just cream off the top. And when you really start to think of it like that, you're asking companies to hold your money and so are thousands of millions of other people for events that are happening in the world. And depending whether you're right or wrong, you get money, your money back, and money of other people's that are making their own guesses about what's going on in sports and politics, and even virtual fucking races. A virtual race, it's built into the maths that you will lose. And you think to yourself, how in the shit are these companies allowed to exist? Of course they're allowed to exist when they're feeding the very people that allow them to do it. You're not growing or evolving. You just go around in circle, on repeat. Your life controlled by it. Your relationships destroyed by it. Your dreams dashed by it to keep other companies allowing them to do their dreams. The big betting companies, like, they're just sat on the beach somewhere. Thanks very much, idiots. Give us your money then. They don't even know what sports match you'll go. They don't care. So there's a 50% chance of him winning and 50% chance of him winning. Okay. I'll wait for the money to come in then. So you reckon him? Okay, we're going to change that one to 44. We'll change. And all the maths and the algorithms and the AI behind it balances it all. Just like the roulette machine, there's a red and a black. 50-50. We'll put 0 in the middle. Or in America, a double 0 as well. So when that goes round, at some point, all the red and blacks, which are matched 50-50, there's a 0 in the middle. When it ends there, boom, the house wins. And the game's built like that. They don't lie to you about it, but it's built in their favour. How do you think you can build Las Vegas without building a machine that is built for them to win? How the fuck is this allowed to happen? They have a roulette machine that it's not 50-50. It's not fair. Now you can go, well, it's your choice, and I get that, and you can win. Yeah, I get that. But overall, you can't win because billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies wouldn't exist if it was fair. And then you've got the bodily brain and actual, the neurons in your brain, the different parts of your brain, and hormones and chemicals that are released during these activities. They are fully aware of that. That's how they build a billion and trillion-dollar industry. And that's why you throw your money away. You feed them. Because they're smarter than you. And that's the brutal fucking truth of it. They've worked out how addiction works. They've worked out you don't have a fucking clue. So they'll feed their lifestyle with your money that you earn, that you choose to give them, and you're not even fucking aware of it because it's an addiction. And that's not just gambling, that's alcohol. You pay someone to poison yourself. It's fucking crazy. Smoking, even worse. You're paying a company to give you poison and put a little addictive substance in there to keep you smoking it. What are we doing? But this is the reality of it. I have an addictive personality. Gambling's something that's still in my head. Yeah, I'll fight it. But I'm aware of it and how it works. And I'm also aware my brain is wired like that system. So it's there. The flashing lights, the noises, all the, I could just win, and I need just the once. But then what? You do it the once, you walk away, do you? Do you? Fuck. You go, well, I've won that. I'll just put on what I won. Oh, okay. I'll put on what I would have put on and lost the first time. Oh, no, I've lost. It's fucking dangerous. But the reality of it is coming to terms with that is what it is. It's a system that is allowed to take money off you through knowledge they have about how your emotions, your chemical and biological body works. and use that to take the money that you work for, which ultimately is at a lower end of the pyramid, which keeps them at a higher end of the pyramid. And as times get tougher, gambling is going to become more and more of a thing. Some countries have gone, we see what the fuck you're doing. No, this is illegal. Some states in America it's illegal. Some countries it's illegal. You can't do it because it's not right. It's not right to have companies go, okay, well, we know how the human brain works. We know human behavior. So we are going to create machines and build buildings where we'll hold your money and start distributing it back to you, but we'll keep shitloads for ourselves. And through the way that they project it to you, you now become addicted to it. So you just keep doing it. And then what happens in your life when you give away your money? You give away and it affects your emotions and it affects your personality and it affects your decisions. That's a fucking tough place to be in. And then they throw other addictions at you with alcohol, cigarettes, meds, caffeine, stuff you don't even realise you're addicted to. And then they go, whoa, hang on a minute, this is we'll call this all ADHD. Fucking hell. Anyway, I don't want to go off rambling about that. It's just a video about gambling. It's understanding the stuff I understand now. 10 years ago, when I was an addict, I've bet millions of pounds. Millions. I'm not saying the turnover, millions. So if you bet £10 and you lost, and then you bet another £10 and won, you've got no profit, no loss. It's like you haven't bet, but you've turned over 20 quid. So I've turned over millions of pounds. I've had VIP treatment at one big sports bookie, so you can go to the games, and that's the thing. It's that lucrative that they can pay people to take you to the games where you're giving them your damn money and kind of pressure and coerce you and give you free bets. And if you just keep giving us all your money, you're a VIP customer and you can come and watch the game. You've basically paid like 10 grand for that ticket to the game that's 100 quid. And you know it. But then you turn up I've been there, turn up all the other addicts, and you don't realise it. Like, cool, we're at the game, we're in the box. Box cost them £1,000. All you customers have given about 100 grand. So that's 90 grand. The bloke's salary's 50 grand. 40 grand for the company. Just because you as a collective group give it to them. Through your addiction. And that's all it is. It's not winning money, it's an addiction. Because when you win it, you just give it back. When you lose it, you go chase it. Yeah, some people aren't like that, but I'm talking to the people who are like that. The addicts. And it's applicable to alcohol, cigarettes. Two things I've never gone through the addiction of. But I can understand the same concept of it. The alcohol would have a certain biological effect on your brain, which keeps you smoking. It's nicotine. There's no need for nicotine to be. Tobacco's tobacco. Tobacco's good for you. Tobacco's good for you. Properly smoked. But they went, let's put an addictive substance in it. So they keep buying it. Money, money, money. And somehow they've now got away with putting carcinogens in them, which make you ill for no reason. Oh, hang on a minute. Hi, we're Big Pharma. We've got the answer to that with our medication. Do you not see what these fuckers are doing? Anyway, I just want to make a video about gambling, but it encompasses a lot of things, a lot of life's traits. So it's understanding where it comes from. Yeah, you do have that choice. We also have that addiction chewing at you, gnawing at you in your brain. And every excuse, every time you try, like, you know. You can talk to people about it. You can go to counselling. You can have hypnotherapy. You can sign yourself up, block yourself. You can, why are you doing all these things? That's the thing. Why do companies even like GameStop or whatever even exist if people could just go, nah? Because they know people cannot just go, nah. Some people can, but there wouldn't be companies that exist as a whole to stop you. There wouldn't be gambling hypnotherapy. There wouldn't be counselling. There wouldn't be Gambling Anonymous. All these companies that pop up to help people. If it was something that we could just go. So there's obviously something in the human brain that means we can't just stop. We know what it is. That's addiction. It's also why you have Alcoholic Anonymous and you have cigarette patches and stuff and other stuff to stop you, because addiction is a massive thing in the human brain. I'm not excusing. Like, if you throw money away so you can't eat, it's hard for me to say you're an idiot, because I've done it. Because that's the thing. With addiction, it's the first thing in your brain. This is something I've struggled to get through to anyone who's kind of gone, well, just stop doing it. You don't understand addiction. It's not, yeah, of course I used that as an excuse. Of course I did. But on a fundamental level, when you wake up, it's the first thing you think of. What? It comes first. So you lie, you cheat, you deceive, you're not there for your family, you're not physically, mentally, emotionally, because it's the first thing, because it's an addiction. So while people can go, just stop, or will help, or you're not, if you don't help the actual addiction, then everything else, like taking someone's phone off them, we'll get another phone. Or even signing up to GameStop, you find a way around it. Or even telling the bookmakers not to let you in again, you'll just find another one. And the industry as a whole is very lax at stopping you, throwing everything away, because the companies wouldn't exist without it. They have the little kind of, oh, we'll help you, but they're not, obviously, otherwise that pretty easy, isn't it? Like other countries do. Well, just make it illegal, done. They're not helping. It's, well, we'll help, but as a whole, of course not, because it feeds the very people to have the lifestyles and money and control that they do, and keep you in an addictive state, feeding them. So anyway, a little video about gambling addiction, and it's understanding that it is, people can go, oh, well, he's selfish, and if you need to understand addiction. Your thoughts, I get it, your thoughts, well, that's just selfish, or you could just stop, or what about his children, or what about his future? Yeah, I get that. But the addict can rationalize that, but when the brain is addicted, it's hitting different parts of the brain that if someone was to say, well, you could just stop, you'd have no clue about addiction, and you will be no help to help that addict. You may think you are, but you don't know what you're talking about. Because addictions come from the way synapses fire together, neurons that wire together. It's not the same in everyone's brain, and even in society, we really don't know all about it. But there are obviously companies that do know how it works. That's why that exists in reality. That's why these companies are here, because they understand human addiction. So you need to understand human addiction yourself if you are an addict or trying to help an addict, or it's understanding how does addiction work. Take gambling out of it, because it's also prevalent in why Costa and Starbucks exist. It's also prevalent in why alcohol and cigarettes, which are highly destructive and damaging, exist. What is addiction? How does addiction occur? Why does it occur? Can we change it? Can we substitute things? Like, how does it work? And yeah, that's kind of the thought processes I'm on at the moment. With, I can look at my past and thrown shitloads of money away. Yep, a lot of money. But I don't know what I'd be in the world with money. Oh, you'd have a nice house. I don't care. Like, I am who I am right now, and if I'm not happy and grateful to be exactly who I am right now, then what does that say about you? So I wouldn't change it. And if you look at stuff like chaos theory and you look at stuff like the butterfly effect and everything happens for a reason, everything is just the way it is. But it's also knowing, now you know that about yourself from the past, or even know about it yourself from now, and think, fucking hell, yeah, there is a system built around knowledge that I don't have. So I go to work every day, get up early in the morning, or spend my time, energy away from what I want to do to earn money to give this system that I think is going to help me. But deep down, you know it isn't. You know it's an addiction. So why is it you get up every morning and feed the very system that keeps you at the fucking bottom? Addiction. Understand the root cause of addiction and attack the root cause of addiction. You can pluck off the leaves as much as you want of a tree. Oh, Gambler Anonymous, pluck a leaf. Hypnotherapy, or pluck a leaf. Leaf's going to grow back. Take the fucking roots out. Understand where it's built from. Where does addiction come from? It comes from different neurons firing in your brain, and it's understand how your brain works. Also how different chemicals are released. That's why you feel joy and elation, pits in your stomach. All the emotions you go through, a lot of the emotions are in your body. You think you feel them physically. So what's going on there? Why is your brain secreting different chemicals? Can your brain be addicted to these chemicals? Yeah, they can. That's why they invented TikTok. Think about it. Till next time.